I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Off the first episode, Dr. Stone might be an absolute banger. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's looking pretty good. It's really original. It's a lot of original concepts that came to fruition for the summer anime season so far. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Not gonna lie to you guys, I love art. I love animation. Love stories, things like that. I love writing. So of course I gotta talk to you about some comparisons. So the first comparison that comes to mind will probably be Pinky and the Brain. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, man. Fucking Taija was not as bad as Pinky, but it's like a these guys are way more complex than Pinky and the Brain. Like, but it's very enjoyable to watch. It's a common archetype that you see, in film. It's a common trope or whatever. The brain and the muscle. I mean, you see it a lot, but I think this is gonna be like a good. I never mind watching that when it's done right. And plus, this guy has some. Plus, Taiju has like some morals to him. He's a good guy. He seems like he's a thinker. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be good for character development. Like these guys aren't absolute goofs or anything. So far so good on that part. Next, things that came to mind was probably other shows with super smart people in them, such as Dexter's Laboratory and Jimmy Neutron. We love these shows. We love super smart people, man. For some reason, well, I don't know why we like them, but I don't know. But we love shows where people be super smart because it often leads to like because anything is possible. Even Rick and Morty, man. People love Rick and Morty. Rick is super smart. So, I haven't seen a show where the character is super smart and things, the show hasn't done well. I can't think of one, actually. I'm sure it's out there. If you know one, drop it in the comments. And the thing about this, in the shows where the main character is super smart, typically there's a rival and he's super smart as well, if not smarter than him. So that always makes for a good battle. So I'm sure I can almost guarantee. I'm willing to bet almost anything that there's somebody just as smart as Dr. Stone somewhere else building and creating something, man. But let me check the notes. I think that's mainly what I want to get out. Oh yeah, in animes in general, like they have such a good. They're so good at putting life in the art. You know, Like if you watch Food Wars, like obviously the person who created that show knows something about food because like how they put the food together and the ingredients they put together, it makes sense. It's true. Like of course it's an exaggeration, but some of those ingredients and that's really how you make the food. That's really how you add texture to it or what have you. Like that person obviously knows how to cook. The person who did Dr. Stone obviously knows. They're not going deep with the science, but basically they're doing things like how the world works. Like people don't know how to make wine. Making wine is simple, but the average person doesn't know that. So it seems smart, but it's not really smart. This person has pretty good knowledge of like the basic understanding of like things. Like even the person who made the gasoline, he broke down the molecules to it or what have you. This person, writer, obviously has a certain grasp of like basic science. It's funny because if you learn the basics of something or if you master something a little bit, it can take you a long way. You can seem like a genius to somebody. You'd be like, wow, how do you know that? Like a lot of us have like mastered bullshit. You might master 2K, you might master Madden, you might master some shit that nobody really care about outside of your little circle. But if you master some general shit, you get to talking about it, somebody might be like, oh, that person's pretty smart. But so off rip, my man's Taiju, probably fucking his name up. But he was going to confess to. I'm not even gonna say her name, man. This is bad. I'm rusty. I'm rusty in the review game, man. I'm not even gonna say her name. He was going to confess to the young lady, but before he could confess, the apocalypse happens and everybody turns to stone. But I think he got a lot of brownie points right there. He just stood in front of her, so she's gonna remember that later on when he tries to confess again, like, oh yeah, you were going to take a bullet from me, or you were going to take on the apocalypse from me. So, and plus we can see from there that he has like morals. He didn't like run away. He really got feelings for this girl, so that's good. Seems like he's a stand up guy. Can't wait to see his character progression going down the road. Hopefully he can thaw that girl out. You know. But let's go ahead and talk about this stone stuff, man. This stone business is crazy, like the Flintstones or something. First of all, being buried alive is some bullshit. That's one of my fears. Like getting buried in a casket or something. Like you can't get out. You just trapped. Of course, being in a stone, being trapped in stone, you would think that you would die immediately, but what they're doing is you're trapped in stone, but you're still alive. That shit is crazy. And if you don't focus hard enough, you're gonna die. Like yo, they were staying focused for like 3,000 years. That's crazy. I'd have been like, I just fell asleep, son. Like for real, I'd have said, man, this shit too hard. This shit taking. Niggas ain't gonna throw me out yet. Like yo, get the fuck out of here. I'm just going to sleep. Fuck it. Meet you in the afterlife. That's crazy, bro. Like, and then their body didn't decompose for some reason. That's also crazy. Like, how you get trapped in stone for 3,000 years, but you don't decompose? The stone not keeping you alive. But that's wild, bro. Like, they had water going over their face. They was animals messing with them. It's crazy. I couldn't be me, man. I'd went to sleep. I'd said, you know what? After probably like a year, I'd be like, yo, this shit too much. I mean, well, I guess you could do it if you didn't have to use the bathroom or nothing and shit like that. Didn't get hungry. Hmm. Moving on. This show has a lot of promise because basically it's too, you know, everybody's trapped in stone. Um, Something caused them to turn to stone. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it's fantasy. We don't know if it was the military. We don't know what turned them to stone, but obviously we have somebody who's smart enough to figure things out and stuff like that. And basically, it's just a wide open world. It's like an open world. You can't really fuck it up for real. It's a lot of shows that have open worlds and a lot of stuff like just leaves this open ended. You're not trapped in a school. You're not trapped just within the routine. You can literally anything can happen in this show at any time, literally. And so if the writers' room is good, they should be able to cook something up. Make this a banger. You don't have any restrictions. You can do whatever you want to. You can unearth whoever you want to. They can unearth whoever they want to. Um, that's another thing. Like if they can, crack people open, everybody don't need to be cracked open. Everybody's not gonna be a friend once they get unthawed or what have you. Some people might be enemies, so it's like, how do they pick and choose who they want to open? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, that's mad risky, bro. Somebody could be like straight evil, wanna just like take over their whole little situation they got going on. But so far so good. I have no complaints about the premise. The world is their oyster. Man, that boy Dr. Stone is a genius. That boy Senku, oh my god, he come out, he building houses, he making spears. Like yo, you got a special set of skills right there. Like man, he's smart as fuck. I don't know where he learned all that shit at, but he must have been watching Man vs. Wild or Survivor Man or something, because he got some skills on him, boy. If he's a national treasure. They gotta keep him alive by any means. If they don't have him, if something happens to him, you're gonna be in the Stone Ages forever, unless you find out another genius. And not too many people got those type of smarts in them. But let me see, man. So I like Senku as a character. He's of course the brains. He's of course I like his character looks good. He had nice long hair. Very unique. Main character's gotta look unique. Gotta stand out from everybody else. Uh, with his brain, there's no limits to what he can do, man. So it should be a fun show. I'll try to get more into the episode. Not too much going on in the episode, other than they found out they got a new discovery. They might have a new discovery every episode or something like that. But they found out how to, break people out. So I'm guessing the next episode they're going to break the girl out of her stone so she can, help out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Dr. Stone is so far so good. I like the originality. I like the concept. I like the characters. I like the art style. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, this is Blackout Jones signing off.